800-348-1007. 35192. Send me a text. Kazalud by 12 last night. The Toronto Raptors, 100-88 was the final in Toronto last night. The Cavs hand them their 11th win of the season. They're at about 500, but Cavs are still saying Isaac Okoro is our man, despite all evidence of the contrary. I mean, they're not going to come out and go, yeah, this guy's a load, but you figure it out. So the Cavaliers will be back at home tomorrow night to play the 76ers. Harden's with Philly?
Yes.
Okay.
Harden, Joel Embiid.
AI?
No.
Allen Iverson.
Very
and
retired.
the Philadelphia 76ers.
Very retired.
Very retired?
Mm-hmm.
Charles Barkley and the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow night against the Cavaliers. 7 o'clock tip-off. So we'll break our dusty asses out at 6:30, and then Cavs Live pregame will begin. So keep that in mind. See the guy that made the half-court shot at the Bucks game? That's pretty exciting.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
What'd he win?
$10,000.
Man, they really are skimping these days
Should be
on the
more money.
half-court shots.
It used to be like, because it's just, these teams take out insurance policies. You know, it's like a hole-in-one shot. You get $1 million. Nobody's really out any money. But, yeah, he was at the Bucks game the other night and makes the half-court shot. He was there with his 3 kids, one of whom, well, the news reporter will tell you all about it here. Can I switch this to the live over here today?
Oh, I didn't.
It's okay. I can play the audio.
I can set it
Makes
up
that story
real quick
so
in the break.
special. His son, who has sickle cell anemia, was being honored at the game that night, was watching from the sidelines as his father made that $10,000 shot.
You guys can't see it either,
This
can you?
is the moment.
No.
Plenty of time on the clock. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, give him some encouragement. Come on now. Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she fell.
Jamel
I got knocked down.
I thought she fell.
No, she was excited. He had 30 seconds left. I don't know how many. I guess you just get the one shot. Why did they give you a minute for one shot?
Maybe it's from different. I think it's one of those things where he's got to make a layup and then like a
is that
free
what it is?
throw, and then
I'm so terrified of doing stuff like this. I would be terrified. Like probably.
you do such a good job.
Well, but
I would
also,
pass out.
but there's no, but
That'd be
there's
very
these
fun.
are the anomalies where people just kind of flop themselves in the air and it goes in. He got it off the backboard and he was there with his kid and he couldn't have been happy.
And once I kneeled down and looked, I said, oh, yeah, it's going in.
Before that, the Milwaukee father of 3 remembers beaming at the Pfizer Forum Jumbotron as it featured his 7-year-old son. Jermel Jr. has sickle cell anemia, and on this night, the MAC Fund, Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer, honored him as their Star of the Year.
Jamel Scott Jr. is the son, and the dad made the $10,000 half-court shot.
Dad, can't I just have one night that's about me? You got to steal my spotlight.
I'll tell you what, the only organization that gets more press than the Milwaukee Athletes Against Childhood Cancer are the Milwaukee Athletes for Childhood Cancer.
Math.
They don't get good press. So you better to be on the side of the Milwaukee Athletes Against Childhood Cancer. So congratulations to Jermel Scott Sr., whose poor little boy there was up there on the Jumbotron. And listen, this is America. And in the American healthcare system, if you have a sick kid, $10,000 can go a long, long way. So congratulations to him.
Really quickly.
I was going to say, or it could be like literally one night in the hospital.
But better than not having it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it'll go very quickly.
I had a couple $1,000s just for like a STD scare. I had to get some blood work done.
For a what?
An STD scare.
Oh, God.
They're like, what
Which
do you-
STD?
it was gonorrhea, and I was like, just
How
test
much money did you have set aside for? You had a
I had
slush fund
no
for
money set aside.
Oh, I think-
but I was like, do them all. I was like, I just want to make sure. I just want to be clear. I want to make sure I got a clean bill of health. This was right before San Diego, so I was like, test me for everything. I want to know, just so when I go to San Diego and hoe out, I can live guilt free and give me
Wow.
whatever. And then on top of that, I got antibiotics for something I didn't really have. Like I didn't know. I was like, give me the antibiotics now, so by the time I go to San Diego, I don't have to wait for the test results. I can just, be clear. I was tripping.
Yeah, you were tripping, weren't you? You were so tripping. Good gravy. You were like a juggalo.
Juggalos be trippin', yo.
And so, how did it end up?
He had all of them.
I was like with a big
They
bill.
go,
and
we've
I-
never seen this before, but you got all of them. How many is all of them? Not only did you get all the ones we've previously identified, you have a couple of things that we still have a couple of calls to the Mayo Clinic out about.
Got some hybrids over here.
That's right. You've got what we've called HIV gonorrhea. And boy, we've never seen this before.
But if I was a case like that, it would almost be, I would get free health care because they would be like, ooh, you're an anomaly. Let's operate on him. And
Yes, you know how they love to give out all that free health care? It would certainly work in your favor.
And you know how when they can't figure something out, they're like, this is fun for us.
Right.
That's always how they
I
act.
think it's all like an episode of House.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it's lupus.
It's never lupus.
Poundcake has got super lupus.
Super lupus.
Supus.
Yeah, that was the worst DC Cinematic Universe spinoff ever. Super lupus. Alan, the Lakers fan, just won $75,000. Yes, but his name was LeBron James, and that was a layup bonus. No, a guy got a half-court shot at the Lakers game, got $75,000.
That's what I'm talking about.
$1,000.
$75,000.
That's,
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I
okay.
want 10 too, but I mean,
But it's Milwaukee versus L.A.
Yeah.
you
Who
know?
has more money?
Yeah. I mean,
These teams got the money.
The teams are all billion-dollar organizations. The Bucks are like the best team out there right now, so they should give you a little bit more than $10,000. I agree with that.
I remember a guy hit a half-court shot for, I want to say, $100,000 or $1 million at a Bulls game in the 90s. And it was a big deal because he was wearing these wheat boots, and everybody started wearing those. You remember that one?
Wheat boots?
Like these wheat-colored boots, and everybody's like, hey, you did it. But it was a large sum of money, and I want to say it was $100,000. And it was on all like ESPN for like weeks. They'd replay this.
So he had a transistor and a large sum of money to spend.
Yeah.
Listen, you want a terrible, terrible story? Do you want a terrible story?
Now it's time for With the Alan Cox Show.
Listen, if you go over to the Alan Cox Show Facebook page right now, I posted the link to our friends down there at Magic 105.7. They're doing the Radiothon all day today. Hopefully you can donate if you're able to the Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital. Conversely, awful story. Maybe this will get you opening your pocketbook, where Boston police found 4 dead infants in a Boston apartment.
Oh, my God.
That's right, Poundcake. That's why the segment is called...
Now it's time for With the Alan Cox Show.
Yeah. The cops were called there about 2 in the afternoon last week. They found one of them in the freezer.
Oh, my goodness.
They found 2 males and 2 female infants in another part of the apartment, each one of them in a shoebox wrapped in tinfoil. And they have no idea what happened. The woman, a woman who's in her 60s, owns the building. And she's owned it for a long, long time. But they don't know if she lives there. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. So we have about a half a dozen bureau chiefs that listen to the show on iHeartRadio from the Boston metropolitan area. And it might be worth noting that any information that people have, the Boston police would very much like to have that information. But that's one of the reasons that you want to pay attention to what your neighbors are doing. I think we can all agree on that. One of my neighbors died while we were out of town for Thanksgiving.
Jeez.
And I'm trying to
Perfect
figure out what...
alibi.
Right. He was 84, but he had enemies. Yeah, so we need to... we're trying to...
Man, he could have dated your mom.
Shut up, Bill! My mom doesn't go for older men like that. My father was only 4 years older than my mom. She's not looking to be cradle robbed at 73 years old. Is my mom 73? 74 years. She just turned 74, the beginning of the month.
I had to go to the B&B today, and the guy, old man, next to me was like,
Oh, good for you.
We're both standing at the window, and he walks up, and they're like, what can I do for you today? And they were working on something in the back for me. And he goes, well, my wife died.
They were working on something for you in the back.
You have to do for the compliant ID, you have to get all of your documents approved by like 2 sets of people to make sure that your passport and all that kind of, your social security card, all
this
real.
was like the ID plus thing that you're getting.
Because you can't fly unless you have it as of May of next year. So they were doing that in the back for me. And this old man walks up, they called his number, and he just goes, my wife died. Like that, and kind of paused, and she was like, I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait, say it the right way.
What?
What did he say?
My wife died.
My wife dead.
But she was like, I'm sorry to hear that. He's like, yeah, so we got to change the minivan over into my name. And he's like telling, I don't know if maybe he couldn't hear, but he was speaking so loudly that I felt like
My wife died.
It's probably hard of hearing or something like that.
He's telling the entire waiting room his whole life story. And he was in good spirits, it seemed. Like
was
maybe
probably
he
thrilled.
hated
Yeah, his wife's dead. He's got a free minivan.
Right. He seemed like not that upset about it, to be honest with you.
Oh, so much peace around my house. There's no more nagging. I just leave
quiet.
dishes in the sink.
Right.
Nagging. No more nagging.
A lot of old people at the BMV, because the lady on the other
Because
side.
I got nothing but time to kill.
Lady on the other side of me was also old, and they're like.
The terrifying thing is that these people are still driving.
Oh my God, dude. That's the thing, is that I'm like, there's no way.
People can joke about all the old people at the BMV. That means they're all behind the wheel.
Yeah.
I remember my grandmother, voluntarily gave up her driver's license. My grandmother lived to be 102.
It's like, I can't see anymore.
She stopped driving at 87.
Yeah.
Because she's like, yeah, this isn't good anymore. I don't want to hurt anyone. She was still lucid and everything, but she's like, that's not good.
The woman on the other side of me, she was updating her license, and they asked her, is everything still the same? And they told her weight, it was 185 pounds. And she goes, oh, no, no, no. And the woman's like, do you need me to change it? She goes, I'm 182.
Oh, God.
So she made her change
Still
it
a sizable woman.
She made her change it by 3 pounds,
Yeah,
which
there
I
you
thought
go.
was the most adorable thing in the world. That I'm like, oh, I love
Sir,
that.
is everything still the same? Well, my wife died, so no.
Got all that weight off of me, too.
No. Hey, Woody. Oh, Woody's gone.
He's gone.
Oh, he was calling about half-court shots. Bill's referring to Timberland boots. We called them butters.
But they weren't just Timberlands. They were a specific pair.
They were wheat boots. You heard the man.
I don't know if they were Timberlands.
Alan Steve on 90210 made a half-court shot at the Lakers game 30 years ago and won $10,000. That was a character in a show or the real-life guy?
No idea.
Ian Ziering, was he Steve on 90210? I don't know. So, Alan, are you saying that the house next door to you is going to be up for sale soon? I don't know that. It was a man and his wife. They were very, very sweet. But over the past couple...
The man died.
Yeah, the man died. We saw the obit while we were out of town for Thanksgiving. And I was like, oh, because I used to talk to him. We shared a fence. And I used to talk to him when I would see him. But
Who was Wilson? You
Huh?
or him? I said, who was Wilson?
No. It was...
Hiding their little lips.
I have a 6-foot-tall fence. But no, he's very nice. But over the past year or so, last couple of summers, it was clear that he was becoming increasingly infirmed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd see him walking more slowly, and then I'd see him with a walker and the whole thing. And I think his wife is considerably younger than he is. And so now we're kind of like, obviously we'll send flowers to the viewing and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not sure if we should go over there and, sorry. Well, because it's pretty cliche to everybody brings food.
Bring a casserole.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, but I absolutely feel like we should be like, hey, listen, I'm so sorry. And if there's anything we can do, let us know. But I don't know.
You know what might help her out if you offer that? Yard work and stuff. Like shovel or driveway.
Yard work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stuff that he probably, I guess if he was.
Well,
in
I know they have
80s.
grandkids and things
Okay.
I would always see one of their grandkids mowing the lawn
Yeah.
and things like that. So they've got free labor at their disposal. I got enough problems just manufacturing this stuff.
Have her come over and watch television with you.
Hey, would you like to come over and watch television with you? We just started Yellowstone. Anybody watching Yellowstone?
I have not.
We just started watching that. It's the
How is it?
Kevin Costner. We're about halfway through the first episode. I'm told it's like Hillbilly Sopranos,
yeah.
or Sons of Anarchy, or
I finished The Dropout.
The Dropout. Oh, the Amanda Seyfried thing about Elizabeth Holmes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that one kind of got past me. I didn't really care enough about that. But didn't she like do the voice too?
Yes.
Hey
and
guys, yeah.
It's just bananas how much women want to say, like, oh, you can't really get far. There's a glass ceiling. The reason why this chick got so far is because she was a woman.
Yeah, but that doesn't
she,
negate the concept of the glass ceiling because this was. Yeah, but look where she is now. She lied to everyone
I
because
know.
she was cute and pretended to be smart. Everybody wanted to believe her, and they were just shoveling money toward her.
She wasn't not smart.
Doesn't mean there
She
isn't
just
a glass ceiling.
She
wasn't a doctor.
She wasn't smart about what she was claiming to know.
Right.
But she was intelligent.
All
enough.
these scammers and grifters, everybody loves them until they don't. Everybody secretly wants to get in. They want to be the first one in the grift because their thinking is, hey, if this pans out, I'll be crazy rich.
But she
So
killed people.
they don't really do a lot of digging because there's plausible deniability. Like, look, I was just an investor. I was as shocked as you to find out that she'd been lying my land. What's happened here? What? And then they slink off, But if that had worked, everybody would have, But she was good. Amanda Seyfried did a good job. I heard
she
Jennifer
did a great
Lawrence
job.
was going to do a movie version of it and said, I'm not going to do that anymore because she nailed it.
Yeah, no, she did a great job. And the story just, it caught my eye just because obviously they put it in the mainstream media now where she's going to prison. She just got sentenced, and now this.
What do you mean the mainstream media?
Like
everyone's been breathlessly covering that story.
I guess I never paid attention to it, but the fact that we talked about it on this show, and then I saw it on like ABC and NBC, like the mainstream stuff, I was like, oh, well, I'll watch it. It popped up in my Hulu.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll turn it on. And I was like, wow, I can't believe this is what was going on. And it went on for years. I was thinking like this was a recent development. I know we probably talked about it when it originally happened, when she stepped down in 2015.
Yep.
But
her boyfriend was the CEO. They were both scamming everybody.
Yeah, I just can't believe that Walgreens of all people was in on it.
Well, not even in on it. These were companies that wanted to be in this business. Oh, my God, we can diagnose people with one drop of blood? I mean,
But doesn't it seem too good? I mean,
of
it did seem
course.
too
That's
good
why
to
if you ever watched any of the documentaries they did, not the dramatized version, but if you had, once those stories got bigger and more reported and more incredible, literally incredible, if you had been following that, all the people that worked for her were like, yeah, I mean, like scientists and data people, they were like, yeah, we thought there was something that was not right about this, but she kind of had this, mind. She was very charming. That goes a long way. When you're talking like venture capitalists and stuff, people are like looking to invest in things. Charm goes a long way. Because if you're a guy with a lot of money, that's why people have this notion in this country that if you have made a lot of money, you know how to properly spend it. And nothing could be further from the truth. Elon Musk. He must be a genius because he says he is, and he's super rich. Well, he's super rich because his dad was super rich. That's how he got his money. And then he didn't found Tesla. He bought Tesla. So, this notion that because people are super, super wealthy, they must know something I don't know. Yes, how to dodge taxes. That's what they know that you don't know. Not that they're any smarter. Trump's dumb as a brick. So, and you put a hot girl in there, or, for that.
Was she really hot though?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
For pictures of her.
For that environment, here comes a young girl. People love like a wunderkind, right? Mm-hmm. People love somebody young who comes out of nowhere and thinks and convinces people that they know something, because it makes the investor feel smart. You can go a long way making people feel like they're smart.
Like, I invested
Don't
in a
you
woman.
want to
How
get in?
progressive.
Well, not even that. But again, female CEOs, especially in the tech industry, female CEOs are not rare anymore. There was a woman who, Carly Fiorina. She had a failed presidential bid, I think, in that pack of 35 people when Trump was first running. She was the CEO of Hewlett Packard for a long time. I think she ran it into the ground. But there have been Meg Whitman. She was the head of eBay. There's been all kinds of female CEOs. But they don't go around telling people that they created the company. They're just running it. You don't really have to know how printers work to run Hewlett Packard.
Might have helped. She didn't do a good job.
Guys, my vision for the future is to transition us from dot matrix printing to, they're like, I guess she's onto something here. Yeah, so you get a young girl like Elizabeth Holmes, and all of a sudden, and she's got a couple of co-conspirators.
It's just nuts.
You can rope a lot of people in.
I mean, I guess it's not really a spoiler because all this information you can look up, but like someone from her company committed suicide over the whole scandal, and then like all the people that were like misdiagnosed. I just can't believe she only got 12 years for that. That's just
they wanted to give her 30 years.
$9 billion, how her company was worth, and now all those.
But again, those evaluations, all these,
it's all
what it's worth. Yeah, it's all inflated, and it's because nobody really knows. So they go, here's the projections. If you can put one of these machines in every Walgreens in the country, yeah, you can get to $15 billion pretty fast.
9.
USA just scored against Iran.
Ooh.
I hope we're talking soccer.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Some of those Iranian soccer players, oh my God, they're so hot.
Yeah, I know. You have a type.
What's my type?
Rich.
Kicky boys.
Iranian soccer. Kicky boys.
Like some kicky boys.
When the Cleveland Kick Soccers start up, we're all going to be awash in hot foreign soccer players. Let me take a break here. If you want to text for something, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com if you feel like watching. And you can hit us up and listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7
WMMS.